horribly dead, disgusting animal.
If you will listen, I am never going to be the person you want me to be.
I am the Green Arrow. Man, all I could see from my entrance was an empty row. Where the hell is everybody? How you doing, guys? Like I'm feeling? Because I've been here for a while. How's everybody doing? Everyone's good? Yeah! How many people are local to Florida? Yeah. Nice. Excellent. My mother-in-law lives here. There was no follow-up to that. It was just an observation. I come here and she spoils my daughter, and I come back and my daughter says stuff like, "My one chose me." And I'm like, super duper. Sorry I'm late also because I don't know if you guys knew this. Before I did Arrow, I used to work for HBO. So I just watched the Game of Thrones finale. Do I stay off Reddit? I said that earlier. Stay off Reddit. All right, you know what? Let's do some questions, guys. Let's get after it. I don't know where are there microphones? Oh yes. Okay, well then line up. No. And I don't know how kids get to the front of the line, but they always do. We'll take some questions. We'll do as many as we can, and let's have a good time. Let's go with you first, young man.
What was your hardest stunt in Arrow?
My hardest stunt ever in Arrow? You saw when I fell off the mountain? That was me, I did that. No, maybe my hardest stunt, oh boy, I don't know. That's a great, well, at the top of the second season, I swing down off this tree to rescue Felicity off of a landmine. And they wanted to have a stunt person do that, and I said, I don't think so. And I went up there, and once I got up there and I got perched up there, I realized that I had made a terrible mistake. But I couldn't let anyone know that I had made a terrible mistake, and I had to do it. And the stunt in and of itself wasn't that difficult, but they let me swing down, but then they overreacted, and they hit this brake that they had on the line. Just let me swing, guys, just let me swing. The hard part is over. And when they hit the brake, the line hit me in either my left bicep or my right bicep, and then I went to Comic-Con the next day. So if you see photos of me from, I think, my second Comic-Con that I was at, it looks like the Night King ripped my biceps. It looks very strange. That was pretty tough. Good question. Good start. I like where we are.
There are worse things to be turned into than stone. Name one.
Granite? How do you mean? Okay. By the way, we didn't have to turn up the lights. It was just backlit. It's fine. I liked it before. It's much more moody. Worst things to be turned into than stone. Man. Someone that complains about season 8 of Game of Thrones. I'm really happy with that. Hi.
My question is, if you had to be handcuffed to any other Arrowverse actor for 48 hours, who would you pick?
48 hours.
Do I have to answer this now? Oh my God. Colin Salmon. He played Walter Steele in season 1 and season 2 because everyone else would be panicked, like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And he would say something effective. Steven, just lean right up against me if you need to sleep, and if you need to be regaled with tales, fitness and fortitude, I'm here, and I know a wide array of jokes, and we're in this together, and the better and the brighter. And I'd be like, all right, Colin, whatever. And we're handing out to each other. I'm hungry. Wait, well, I'm a sous chef. Okay. I pick him. Hi.
My question is, I've seen videos and stuff of you guys doing lots of pranks on the cast, like behind the scenes.
Really, like what? I've never pranked anybody.
Well, you getting pranked, but
Sure.
anyway, I was wondering what your favorite like prank or joke or whatever to happen on.
I think one of my favorite things is we have a crew member named David Wesley Kyle, and this isn't a prank. This is my favorite running joke because it started in season 1, episode 3 or something like that. David Wesley Kyle, we call him DW. He works in the camera department. He has, I don't know if he's ever operated, but he pulls focus and just in general has been a mainstay on set since 2012. And one of the first times that I ever joked with the crew, because I was very, very intense when I started, because I was terrified, was we were about to shoot a scene in Oliver's bedroom, and he was, I think, operating on B camera, and he was putting in the slate. So, you know, A camera slate, B camera slate, and he had to get out of the room, but he didn't know where to go. He should have just opened up the door, closed it, and walked out, but he panicked. Okay? So instead of walking out of the room, he goes into the corner of the room and stands there like this with his face facing the wall. Except what he didn't realize was that he was directly in my line of sight. And I go, hey man, DW, you gotta get out of there. You look like the kid in the Blair Witch Project, and I can't handle what's going on. And to this day, that makes most of the crew laugh really hard. So then we became friends because we make fun of it. Every day that he sees me, he goes, oh my God, it's Stephen Amell, like that. And now, you know, he went from DW to D-Dubs. And then I joked that, I said, D-Dubs, you hear the news? He goes, what news? I go, well, the CW. He goes, no. I go, they're changing the name from CW to C-Dubs. So now there's D-Dubs on the C-Dubs. And somewhere in the sound department, Steven, the other guy, Steve, we call him Stubbs because he's 6'7", and also that's his last name, made this shirt with my face and his face, and it says D-Dubs on the C-Dubs. And I'm trying to, I want to wear it, but there's also that line of demarcation when you wear a shirt with your own face on it. But that has brought me joy every day that he is on set since 2012. I was here when WrestleMania was here. I guess it was 2 years ago, and then it's going to be in Tampa this April, right? Might be there, unemployed.
20 years I've been watching, right? But the question I was going to ask, so with Cody Runnels developing AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and the history that you two have, is there any chance that you could be making an appearance in AEW when it fully debuts?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know Cody, who was one of the prisoners on Arrow this year, oh my God, what is his character name? Samson. Is that, say it again?
Samson.
Yeah, like I said. First of all, it's amazing to work with Cody because, you know, as much of a fan of wrestling as I am, he's a fan of acting. And really threw himself into the idea of being a part of this and having him up there. We didn't get to hang out as much as I wanted because I'm obviously very busy when I'm up there. But having him up there was great, and if you don't know, he started All Elite Wrestling, which is a new promotion. It's going to be on TNT's, when's it start, this fall?
That's like October, I think.
Yeah, this fall.
I'm saying the month.
And anyway, they're doing an event, but I'm not going to be doing any wrestling until is my wife here? I'm not going to be doing any wrestling, honey. No, I might do something again with them, but not until I'm done the show, because I don't want to have to send, I had to send an email to Greg Romanti, who is the most prolific producer in the history of television at this point. Mark Guggenheim, who's one of our executive producers, Beth Schwartz, who is our showrunner this year, Todd Pitson, who is our production manager, James Bamford, who is our producing director and the director of episode 707, because right before episode 707, I wrestled Christopher Daniels and I fractured my head. And there was nothing to be done. It couldn't get any worse, it could just not heal as fast. And we had to do the most stunt-heavy episode in the history of the show. And so I had to send a note going, I know I'm an idiot. Don't treat me any differently. This is on me. Apologies. And I don't want to have to send that note again. So until I'm done with the show, I'm going to stay out of the squared circle.
I'd say it was an honor to be here at Megacon. Thank you. Good luck on the 8th and final season of Arrow, and enjoy the rest of the day here at Megacon.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
I wanted to thank you very much because I love Arrow. It's one of my favorite shows ever, and I cried a lot on this finale, so you know. And one of the questions is that what has been the most challenging scene to film in the entire show, whether physically or emotionally?
Well, I mean, physically the most challenging scene was the fight with Ra's al Ghul, and it's sort of a tie between the fight between Ra's al Ghul on top of the mountain in season 3. That was very, very physically challenging. The scene where Prometheus tortures Oliver was also very, very challenging because I had to be in real cuffs for that to happen because I had to be able to lunge against them. And there was no issue that day other than to just put me in the cuffs and put me on the ground and just leave me there. Because the process of taking them, putting them on and taking them off, it was just like, no, guys, I actually purposely stayed in them, A, so that I became ornery, and B, so that everyone would hurry the F up. And then I think there have been 2 scenes in the series, my last, not my last scene, but the last bit of dialogue between Oliver and Felicity, and my last bit of dialogue between Oliver and Moira, where you have to work really hard to make sure that your emotions in the moment and your friendships with those 2 people, not the 2 characters, don't get in the way of how the scene is actually supposed to go. That was very challenging.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who just found out that it was a him? Was it you? Sorry. Just, what? You get to go to the front of the line and ask a question.
Sorry, my son has said something about it, but I was hoping that it wasn't true. And I've seen you twice since I've been here. And like I said, my son said something about it, but I was hoping it wasn't true because I really love watching you on screen.
Oh, thank you.
But I do have one question for you.
Okay.
The first season, when you first came back, and you started doing the whole Green Arrow thing, and you were sneaking off, and you weren't going to tell anybody, how did you end up telling, like, Felicity and your bodyguard? I can't think of his name right now.
Diggle, yeah. Well, for a variety of reasons. One, you can only do voiceover for so long. You guys get that, don't you? No, I mean, you have to let people in. You have to let people in on a secret. I mean, one of my favorite YouTube clips is Oliver's quote-unquote secret identity, and it just details all the different times that he reveals himself to people. And it's got the counter, and every time it goes, bing. That's also a fantastic YouTube clip. But yeah, you gotta reveal, because it creates a much more cool narrative, and you get to interact with people. Like, how do I interact? How do I build my friendship with Diggle, with Felicity, with all the other hundreds of people that I've told? And then when I outed myself publicly, which again, it's a spoiler for you, I'm so sorry.
I do have one more question.
Okay, yeah.
How, in the series, how did you feel when you found out that Sarah was actually still alive?
I mean, I love it. I thought that was very cool. It was one of my favorite memories is that when she comes back to Star City, I figured that the biggest story point right there would be that she wouldn't want to reveal herself to her dad, right? And so I'm like, well, that'll take like 5-6 episodes. It took like 3 acts. And then all of a sudden she's revealing herself to her dad, and I thought, man, that's really cool. And then I asked Greg Berlanti, who oversees all the shows about that, I said, why did you guys make the decision to do that so quickly? And he goes, because you have a hit television show until you don't have a hit television show. So you go, and you press on. Thank you. We're doing the screening for Code 8, which was mentioned before, this movie that my cousin and I did, which I think came out really great. Someone in here must have seen it. Can you put your hand up? Wow. It's not bad, right? It's a real movie. But I was at the LA premiere, and it was the night, I want to say April 26th, it was the night that Endgame came out, right? So there were 2 premieres in Los Angeles, Code 8, and this Marvel movie. And anyway, I'm with a bunch of fans, and I'm a big fan. I loved Infinity War. I watched all the Marvel movies. I love Tony Stark. I love so many of the characters. I thought, like, I love them. I'm in awe of what they've done over the past however many years. It's like 20 movies, whatever it is, like unprecedented. 22. Never happened before. Maybe never happen again, because you can't duplicate it, because it grew organically, and I'm a giant fan, tell no one. And I knew for a fact that I was not going to have the time to see Endgame for several weeks, and I knew that it would get spoiled for me. So I'm standing with this group at the after party, and I go, you guys all see Endgame? And they're like, yeah. And I said, how does it end? And I'm not going to tell it. I'm not going to spoil it off. No, I wouldn't. No. Hey, no spoilers. But the guy goes, hey, I can't tell you that. I go, no, I don't think you understand. I'm asking you. He goes, but I can't. I go, but you can. And he goes, why do you want to know? And I said, well, A, it's not going to affect my ability to enjoy the movie. What's going to happen is I'm going to be scrolling through my Instagram, and I'm going to see a Boss Logic post, or I'm going to be scrolling through my Twitter, and someone's going to make a joke, and I'm going to know how it ends. So don't tell me all about the movie, but if you have to sum up the ending in 20 seconds, tell me. And he goes, are you sure? And I go, yeah, man, tell me. And he told me, and I go, okay. And sure enough, within like 10 days, and now they're even airing a commercial being like, we know you've all seen it, so here's a bunch of spoilers. And anyway, I'm glad that I did that. You should try that. If you know that you're not going to be able to see a movie, or not, fine. Maybe I'm weird. That's okay. Yes. Well, I mean, like the whole "you have failed the city" thing. I know that. Oh, great. I also like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches too. I think like the fact that like when people come up to me and they want something personalized and they want me to write a line, 99 times out of 100, they want to say, like, you have failed this city, which I think is a really cool line. And apparently people say it to each other in their homes all the time. But, funny story, I'm pretty sure the kid and Slade saying that, I'm 99% positive, was a complete Main Event ad-lib. It was never in the script that I was supposed to be called Kid. He enjoyed it. Yes?
And hello first. And I just wanted to ask, since season 8 is going to be the last season, are you directing one of the episodes for season 8?
No, I'm not. I've been offered to direct since I think about season 5. I've been much more interested in promoting directors both on our crew and our cast. And I've actually fought a lot to maximize the time that I get away from the show by packing in my work time, which is to say that as opposed to working sporadically for 5 days, I'd rather work non-stop for 4 days and have the 5th day off. And directing requires an incredible time commitment, so it always felt a little bit counterintuitive to A, be asking for time off, but then B, asking to direct. We have a great stable of directors for season 8, especially because it's a limited run of episodes. And we have a new cast member directing, but that's not my news to share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like Thea, about Merlin, anything like that?
Sure.
Also, one more thing, my brother Daniel wanted to come and meet you, but he got into a car accident. And
Is he okay?
yeah, he's fine.
Good.
But is there any chance I could film you saying his name and you have built this city, or?
Do you see Nathaniel or Daniel?
Daniel.
Daniel. Yeah, of course, man. Just stop filming with the microphone. I'll do it. As you're getting that ready, there is like, I have gotten a bunch of text messages, because I know what I've pitched for season 8, and I know some discussions that we've had, but I haven't actually had I know that it's been officially pitched to the studio and the network and that they're very happy, but I haven't had my sort of sorted out call with Beth, our showrunner, talking about what they pitched and how they pitched it. It's not obviously like exactly what's going to happen, but I have gotten a bunch of text messages from people being like, super pumped, see you soon, and I'm like, what? That's getting excited. All right, hey Daniel. Not because of the car accident, and I hope that you're good, and I'm glad that you're okay, but you have failed this city. What's up? See you guys in 10 minutes, all right?
Yes. Mostly, his dad's voice is very similar to his voice. In fact, I was walking my daughter home from school. We were supposed to walk, and she stopped in the middle of the street after she heard some construction workers yelling, and she goes, "Whoa! Oh, I thought that was my dad when he's mad at me." He goes, "Mavi! Mavi!" And it's kind of a running joke in our family now, so the Oliver Queen, scary you have failed this city voice, I actually was just thinking it when you said it just now. That like Matthew, that sounds like our daughter's talking.
By definition, when I get mad and I get angry, I sound like Oliver Queen. And sometimes it startles my daughter, and sometimes she thinks back to like an episode that she's seen and giggles. So I got that going for me. It's nice. Can someone repeat that to me? my suit? Why, do you want it? No. That they know of. If you think that I'm not walking out of there with a version of every single suit, just so that on my 40th birthday, on my 50th birthday, on my 60th birthday, on my 70th birthday, on my 80th birthday, that's probably good enough. So that I can try it on and make sure it fits, you're out of your minds. Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
So is there any storyline or story arc that you never got to do as Oliver Queen that you as an actor would like to have been able to do?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us about it?
I pitched an episode for season 8 that I thought, I've always wanted to do a departure episode. And by departure, I mean departure from the typical theme. We did it a little bit this year with the 150th episode where we had the documentary, we start directly the camera. I thought that was really well executed, personally. Anything different, but I additionally thought that we could have gone like 100% further, right? So I pitched an idea for an episode this year that, man, I really hope that we really go for it, because one of the things that I think that we've earned, and we've done 160 episodes, and we've got 10 more, and I feel like, according to Beth, we got very, very little feedback from the network this year in terms of notes, or the studio in terms of notes. And to me, it's like, and then just give us one episode and let us do whatever what we want. And I think it would be really fun. I think the fans would really appreciate it, which is ultimately what's most important. I think it would be really cool, which again, that's kind of what's most important. And I just hope that it comes out of nowhere and wallops people over the head in a very gentle, subtle way. But that's the thing that I wanted to do. Just basic departures. I mean, I love network television. I'm here because of network television. But there are constructs to network television that are sometimes a little bit frustrating. You have 6 outs and 6 ins. You have to have your prologue, you have to have your credits, you have to end Act 1, you have to start Act 2, you have to end Act 2, you have to start Act 3, end Act 3 and start Act 4, end Act 4 and start Act 5, end Act 5 and start Act 6, and then end the show. And they're all on a timestamp. So that, the free-flowing, 7.5-page scene doesn't really exist. And I love the free-flowing 7.5-page scene. So I pitched that, and I really hope that at one point we do a serious one-shot. Like a 7.5-minute one-shot that everyone has to go out and rehearse like it's a play. And I think that would be, something like that. And a musical. I changed my mind. I did.